I'm so blessed to be able to address all of you that are attending the Endless Possibilities Banquet. Endless Possibilities is exactly what it says. It offers endless possibilities both for employers as well as the disabled. We live in a community, we live in a time, we live in a situation where many disabled are overlooked. Often they are actually discriminated against simply because they are disabled. Just because we're disabled physically doesn't mean that we are not able to really produce something for our community. I have a few myths that I would like to dispel tonight in my address to you. Edmore, first of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. And for all of you business people that are here tonight, I want to thank you for the fact that you're allowing Edmore to present a case along with some of his friends. Edmore is a fantastic example of someone who has overcome disability, has become a productive member of society, and cares for himself. He's not asking for a handout. He's asking for equal opportunity. And so are most of the young people you're going to hear from tonight. I'd like to encourage the business people of Zimbabwe to employ people with disabilities. And with that in mind, I want to try to dispel some of the old myths concerning people with disabilities. In fact, there's so much research that it's compelling for you and I today to take a very strong look at why the hiring of those that are considered disabled is actually a boon to our companies and our businesses. Myth number one, disabled people shouldn't be in our community. They should be indoors. They should be put in a home. They should be institutionalized. Well, more and more people who are disabled are becoming visible and restaurants and theaters, and they're enjoying life because they have found out that just because you're disabled doesn't mean that you can't go out and enjoy life. The fact of the matter is that these people shouldn't be hidden away. They should be celebrated for their disability, celebrated that they get up every morning and they make a huge difference out of their own lives. And if you ever take time to get to know them, they have great hearts. Secondly, the second myth, disabled people are less productive than non-disabled employees, and they should be given handouts. There is no evidence that supports this truth. Now, critically and chronically disabled people should be taken care of by the state or by the society, but those who have the heart and desire to be involved, their disabilities don't limit them. They just compensate differently than you and I do. They begin to use all six senses differently than you and I might, but they can become incredible, and most of them have become incredible employees, incredible people using their gifts and skills and talents. And in fact, we have found out that because they live in a world where their disability has disenfranchised them, when they become an employee, you don't have tardiness, you don't have lateness on their arrival. They are great employees, on time, fulfilled, excited about the opportunity, and they deliver the goods. Edmore, you've been an example of this, and we're so grateful for what you've done. You were hired at the Reserve Bank, and you did your internship there. They appreciated you so much that they had you come back, and without interview, took you straight back onto staff, and you've been there ever since. You are doing a great job, and you are a great example of what it means. Here's another myth I want to dispel tonight, that disabled people are unable to meet performance standards, thus making them bad risk or bad employment risk. This is so untrue. Here's a fact. In 1990, DuPont, the large corporation in the United States, it's a worldwide corporation, conducted a survey of 811 employees with disabilities and found out that 90% rated average or better on job performance compared to 95% for employees without disabilities. Similarly, in 1981, DuPont had another study which involved 2,745 employees with disabilities and found out that 92% of those employees, that had disabilities rated average or better than average in job performance compared with 90% of employees without disabilities. The 1981 study results were comparable to the 1973 study results, and I want you to know something. Disabled people are not liabilities. They have a physical disability. We may need to make a couple of adjustments for them. I've seen companies here in this country where they're able to raise a platform for someone to stand on so that they can accomplish the same thing that an able-bodied person can. Maybe they have to make a few small adjustments, but I'll tell you what, in terms of work performance, I think we need to take a hard look at ourselves and our prejudices. Finally, my last myth that I would like to try to dispel tonight is employing disabled people is expensive. Only big companies can afford to do so. You know, that's not true. Most disabled people require very little, if not any, special requirements. They really don't look for you to carry them. They want to carry themselves. Most of the young men and women you're speaking to tonight are willing to carry their own risk. There may be some minor adjustments you need to do to help them make their workplace an able place for them, but at no real major cost to you. But the rewards are very, very tangible and very real as you see their lives blossom and the morale that they bring into your company and your society and the people you work with and our society. Let me just close with these ideas. I have 4 benefits that I believe that we have for hiring the disabled. Number 1, there's low employee turnover. Most of our disabled people are so grateful for the job that they are loyal to a fault. And I think that it pays off in reduced costs to you as a businessman because they are loyal, they are on time, and they are grateful. These people are, number 2, dedicated and reliable employees. People with disabilities have built a reputation for themselves as hardworking, as dedicated, and they take pride in their work. And they usually take great pride in the organization that has hired them. You see, they don't have the luxury of just walking out and getting another job, but their dedication and loyalty is incredible. Number 3, it improves the work morale, believe it or not, inside of your own corporation, your own company. Employing people with disabilities actually strengthens workplace morale. Here these people come in with so much of a and I don't want to call it a disability, but they don't have the same advantages of your average workplace person. And you know what? They carry a great attitude. Most of them just because they're overcomers. And you know what? It brings an overcoming attitude right into your workplace. I think we need to look very seriously at that. And then finally, I believe that this is a very good way for us to have community recognition, where the community can see what we do as employers and employees, and see how we take care of those that are sometimes considered less fortunate, the disabled. Bring them into our family, our workplace family. Care for them because it's also part of our social responsibility, not only as Christians, but also just as people in the marketplace. So Edmore, tonight, I want to thank you, and I want you to know how much we appreciate you. And I don't know what your next goal is, but I know that you are a writer, that you've published 2 books. I know that you have great vision. I know you're finishing up your degree in a master's degree. Nothing seems to stop you. And sometimes you put me to shame. I feel very challenged as your pastor and as a human being that I don't do more with what God has already given me. Thank you. I hope that tonight is a great success, and I wish you the very, very, very best. God bless you.